Okay. Introductions, and give me a countdown for when you want the timer to start, please.
Okie dokie. So, first and foremost, real quick, hello. I'm Viper or ViperUK, or Viper Races, whichever one you want to go with. If you want to make it as easy as possible, just go with Viper and we'll call it there. Yeah, so this is Dirt 3, the third game in the Dirt franchise. This was the first in the Colin McRae series that didn't have Colin McRae's name in it, but it was still technically Colin McRae Dirt 3, but without the Colin McRae name in it. So we're going to be doing the individual season, first season in particular. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. And there's a bit of stuff to skip, so I'll give you a countdown from 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so first and foremost, there's a fair bit of talking that's going to happen here. And we're going to skip this a little bit. So all the things that we're doing, obviously we have to wait until Season 1 is sorted. You might notice there's the black outlines here. But the black outlines are actually part of the... I'll just get rid of this first. Got a minute. Okay, so it might look like there's two black lines at the top and the bottom. But the black lines at the top and the bottom of the game are actually supposed to be there. So, yeah. I'll leave it to Sim to fix everything else. But yeah, so we've got a couple of events that we need to do. The game is broken down into several different parts. It's broken into 4 seasons. There's also a free ride mode. So the way that this is going to work is we've got 2 stages that we need to do here. So we're going to start off with the Clubman's Shield. This is in the Alpine Styles Trophy, part of the triangle. So we've got this one first and foremost. You have the American Rally X Cross event. And there's also the trophy final as well. Now, one of the things that happens in this first season is we get introduced to Gymkhana, which is at the very end of the run. Now, a lot of this is supposed to be beginner stuff, so with it being the first season, it's fairly straightforward. There's not too much to worry about. But yeah, we're obviously first on the road as well, which means that we don't have to worry about the AI. But obviously, in the second part of this event, we're going to have a part where we're going to have to make sure we don't go too fast and catch up with the AI. But obviously, if that happens, it happens. I put this on a somewhat difficult difficulty, but it's not that hard enough that it's impossible. But yeah, first stage is near enough finished already. So, for those that don't know a little bit about Dirt 3 or the Dirt franchise, so the Dirt franchise is, like I said, it was set in Colin McRae's name at first, and yeah, there's not really much more else to say other than that. So, yeah. There's also music in this. There's a good soundtrack. It is pretty good, but obviously for copyright reasons, I can't play it, unfortunately, so you'll have to deal without it. But the way that the rally system works in Dirt 3, it works similar to how it did in Dirt 2. So in Dirt 1, you do... So a rally stage is basically a point-to-point sprint set over several kilometers. And yeah, it's the race against the clock, pretty much. Now, one thing that is worth mentioning is that in Dirt 2 onwards, there are competitors on the road. So you'll actually be racing the stage, and if you catch up against your competitors, you'll actually have to pass them as well. And it is literally the fastest person, fastest time wins. So you'll see here that we've started not dead last, but we're not far off. And it means that we've now got to overtake people in front of us because we're a lot faster than they are. Now, I will say that this game has a difficulty range that goes from level 1 to level 6. Now, I put this at level 4. You can have it at level 5 if you wish to do so. The other thing is in rally stages is that you've got... you also have people that can destroy themselves off the road, and if that happens, then it means that you've got to avoid them. and you have to make sure that you avoid anyone that breaks down as well. So yeah, it's all good fun. But yeah, Dirt is a fair, like I said, the Dirt franchise is fairly straightforward. Now there is one big key difference as well with this. So with this particular one, now you can play on English, which is what I'm doing at the moment, but you actually use the Spanish language. It speeds the game up a little bit with some of the speech that's being told, which is quite interesting. So you get repetition like this, and because of this, it means that what we can do is we can skip this like that. So now what's going to happen is we get points as well. There we go. So this is Rallycross, and we're going to go straight into it. And by doing these events, so we've got this one here, and we've also got the trophy final. So the way that these triangles are split up, so a season is like compressed of like a 3-event triangle with the final in the middle. And in each particular part of this triangle is several events. And yeah, pretty much what we're doing is going to be doing these individual events. So Rallycross is more of a competitive sport. It's more about trying to win the races as much as possible, and you can do this. You are allowed to. There is a bit of argy-bargy as well. You can bash into competitors and things like that. Something that the later games introduced, especially in modern Rallycross, is modern Rallycross sees you with something called a Joker lap. So a Joker lap is basically where the track gets... It has a... Yeah, you have like the full circuit, and the full circuit is basically a... like extension, you could call it. Also, that was interesting. So yeah, the way that a Rallycross track is broken up, it has 2 different little layouts. One has a short layout, which is what you call the regular lap, and the longer layout is the Joker lap. Now, in this version, we don't have that, but in Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2, for those anyone that's played those games, you actually can do the, and Dirt 4 as well, you do the Rallycross track, and the Rallycross track itself includes having doing a Joker. So that's pretty cool. Good stuff. Also, not the best Rallycross in the world, but I will take that. That was pretty decent, actually. So you've now done that one, and what we do is, the way that the point structure works is, every time you win the event, you get 50 points. And by winning events, you eventually unlock the last one. So you'll see now, we've got enough points here to unlock the finale, which is here. So this is the finale here. So this is a head-to-head here. So the way the head-to-heads work is, a head-to-head is basically you versus another competitor. In some cases, you'll be starting level-heading, so you'll start on the same direction, going the same way with different various paths. But in this one, what happens is we're going to be starting opposite the guy. It's also worth noting, if you look at the weather as well, the weather is sunny. This weather is completely random. There is no, like, certainty you'll get dry weather at all, which is another thing that's in this game. Now, for me, I don't think it makes much difference, but it can make a difference if you're not careful. So the way you'll see here, so we're going up against Gareth Jones. It could be anybody that we go up against. And you can see here, look at how much different our route is. Our route is completely different to his. Some of our routes can be faster than his, but it all depends, it all varies. So we're going to be doing this race twice. We're going to be doing obviously our lap. Yeah, we're going to be doing our lap, and then now you can see here that the lap continues on. Now we're going to be doing his route, and he's going to be doing ours. But notice how we never cross paths other than on the start-finish line. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this was actually something that's been around in rallying for quite a long time. I forget when the first head-to-head rally stage actually was. But rally stages used to be a spectacle and a half, especially in the late 90s when rallying was at its peak. In my opinion, there was a few peaks, but Group B was seen as a peak era. We've apparently got a peak now, which is currently happening. But again, it all depends. It all varies on who you ask and who you talk to. So that is the first of the 2 races done. The reason why it's 2 races is because on the first one, you have a what do you call it? You have it's like a knockout structure. So this is structured like a tournament. So there's 2 races. Fastest 2 out of them 2 go through to the final, and that's how we end up doing the event. So if everything goes well with this one, it looks like it's going to be a bit wet, but that's fine. But you can see here we're going up against Ruben Martinez. I forget who we actually go up against normally. But yeah, it's a fun little concept. I quite like it personally. And yeah, once we've done this, we'll have done the Alpine Stars Trophy part. The next one we're doing is the Brembo Blast one, which involves a finale as well. And then once we've done that, we need a specific amount of points to win this, to unlock the finale. And then once we've unlocked the finale, which is the Academy Finals, we get introduced to Gymkhana, and Gymkhana is run by someone called Ken Block. For those that don't know who Ken Block is, Ken Block was, I guess you could call, a freestyle driver of some kind. Specialised in something called Gymkhana mainly. He did have a brief spell in the World Rally Championship back in the early 2010s. It wasn't a very successful period, but he was more known for doing Gymkhana than he was rallying. And Gymkhana, as you'll probably see, is an interesting sport, if I can call it that. Think of it as, when you see X Games, you usually think, you know, BMX, that sort of thing. Basically, imagine the same thing, but it's with cars and it's kind of wacky. You'll see exactly what I mean when we come to it. But yeah, that is the Alpine Stars Trophy done and dusted. So obviously we get some rep for that as well. We are going to level up. Not sure how many times we'll level up, but yeah, there you go. We're also going to skip these animations as well. Also, we have the game in a window mode, so that we're able to basically skip the dialogue. So you'll notice that the game freezes for a second. That's because what I'm doing. So I run the game in a windowed mode. We do this in Dirt 2 as well. And by holding the window with your mouse, you're able to actually skip the dialogue or just fast forward it. So yeah, there you go. Also, first chance we get to see a Subaru, which is nice. Considering I own one myself. Not the exact same model, but a good car. I like it. So when you think of rallying, you usually think Subaru. Do you think Subaru Impreza? Usually, yeah. Do you think this Impreza? Probably not. But I quite like it. So there are a couple of different views as well with the cars. So you've got the bonnet camera, which is my personal favourite. There is the onboard cam as well, which is cockpit view, which is obviously very well received by people. You've got the outskirt view as well, like this, which used to be my personal favourite view. Obviously, you've got I'll call it I think it's a far camera. I usually call this like the bumper cam, to be honest with you. So you've got this, and then obviously a bonnet cam, which I said, like I said, that is my my personal favourite. Although depending on the car, I might not always use the bonnet cam. Some cars have like a weird bonnet cam that I don't feel comfortable with. So because of that, I end up using the cockpit cam and going, you know, full on cockpit mode, I guess. But whilst we're doing a few laps and things like that, after this it's a truck race and exactly the same thing, and then a rallycross race. So there's not really too much to this one. My personal favourite is the finals, the Blast final. With the Subaru, I quite enjoy it. So whilst we're doing this, if you got anything that you want to chip in with, Sim, go right ahead.
Let me check if there are any donations first, and we'll see.
Well, even if you want to talk about the charity, go for it.
Yeah, we don't have any donations in, but we can always shout out the donation page anyway. So if you want to donate, exclamation mark donate in the chat. That'll bring up the link to the donation page. It does get posted periodically as well. David makes sure of that. And yeah, if anyone does want to donate, then please do so through the donation page. There are a couple of polls left for the Ratchet Clank Up Here Arsenal run, which happens later on, which will be the last run of the day. If you'd like to choose between the language choice and also the skin choice for the Ratchet Clank Up Here Arsenal NG plus no quit exploit, that's the one, which is the run, that's the only run left with incentives on there. So if you'd like to donate to that, then please do so, because the funds also go to an amazing cause, Everyone Can.
No problem, thank you very much. So there is actually one thing I need to quickly mention. So one of the things that Dirt 3 has, and it still has now, you can get the Dirt 3 Complete Edition, which has the DLC included in it. I would highly recommend getting it if you can pick it up somewhere. But yeah, it was at one point this game was free on Steam, which was the reason I got hold of it. I think it was in a couple of years ago. I think it was like a PC Gamer or something was giving it away for free. So you can get hold of this on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Funnily enough, similar to what the Eat-led console was probably being played on, but I digress. So yeah, you can get hold of the game on various different platforms. It is backwards compatible via Xbox One, so if you happen to buy or own the 360 version of the game, then you can play it backwards compatible, which is really good stuff. Would recommend picking it up on Steam though, because you have the unlocked frame rate and all the advantages that PC does. But if you prefer console, feel free to play it on the console. So one of the main things about this particular game as well, so they had DLC packs for it. So the DLC for this was a Gymkhana pack, which included the Mini Cooper S, the Sion TC, I think it was. There was a Ford Mustang GT Trailblazer car, and I think a few other cars as well. They're all varying in speed, but they're all fun to drive if you get a chance to drive them. What else? And you also get some extra tracks as well. Most notably Monte Carlo. I think that was the only set of tracks you got extra with the DLC. So if you do happen to get the game, would definitely recommend picking up the complete edition or getting the DLC version, whichever. Well, call it whatever you want. But yeah, get the full experience. So this is a Land Rush event. I know that the race has just come and gone just like that, but Land Rush are simply the same as Rallycross, but they are held usually via trucks or via buggies. This won't be the last time you'll see me do a Land Rush race. So that is the Winter Truck Nationals. We then move on to the Blast Final, which is coming up afterwards. So you'll see that now that we've got enough points to unlock the Blast Final. That Blast Final is a Rallycross race. Also, nice number on the side of that truck. I didn't realise until now. But yeah, there you go. So now we've unlocked the Blast Final. We've also got this as well, which actually has one of the events that we need. So there we go. And we're going to go straight to the Blast Final. There we go. And then, yeah, we're going to do that. So that event that's just opened up, the other part of the triangle that's opened up, we're going to go into that, and we're going to beat that event, the Land Rush Truck Cup, which is the first event in there. The reason why we do that is because we're trying to get the minimum amount of points to unlock the final, yeah, that's kind of about it. So now what we've got to do is a full lap Rallycross race. Again, fairly straightforward, nothing too difficult, easy for anyone to pick up and play. Now I actually do something in particular here, which not that never usually happens, but anyway, that kind of didn't work out that well. But what I was trying to do was, if you can avoid the what's it called? You can avoid the water on the first set of corners by driving on the outskirts of the corner, and because you're driving around the water slows you down. So by not doing that, by driving around it, we've got more grip, more power, and more speed. And it allows us to get past the AI. Now, obviously, now that we've done that, we can easily just use the water to get past them. And that was a lot better of a corner, which is good. So one of the main things as well is, so you can play with the assist turned on or off. Obviously, you're allowed, automatic or manual gears. Play with whatever you feel comfortable with. But yeah, for the most part, again, relatively straightforward. There's not really too much to explain with this game, hence the reason with the short category. There are, obviously, for those wondering, there are categories for each individual season. Like I said, there's season 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. There's a Joyride mode, which I've not touched upon yet. And Joyride is set in a Battersea compound, which is set somewhere around London, near London. It does exist. I don't know if it's a compound, though, but it's based in London in the game, near London. And yeah, you can basically mess about, do donuts around things, jump around. It's basically like a playground, an adult playground, I guess, or a car playground. It's really fun. And back when multiplayer was a thing for this game, it still kind of is, but back when it was quite popular, you could do like a joyride for 10 minutes, and you could just mess about around the thing itself. This game actually had a really great multiplayer because it had things like Outbreak, which is literally similar to what you got on like Halo, where one person starts infected and they have to infect the rest. There was a cat and mouse mode, which was really fun. And the way that the cat and mouse mode worked was, if you were a cat, so you had two teams, a red team and a blue team, and if you were the cat, you got to drive souped up Audi Quattros or Ford RS200s or a Subaru Impreza or whatever. You got to drive like a souped up car, or something that was, it was a good car. Whereas everyone that was a mouse, or the one person that was a mouse, they drove a Mini Cooper. And by driving the Mini Cooper, as you may imagine, the Mini Cooper was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was good fun. I quite liked it, me personally. There we go. So we've got the Land Rush Truck Cup, which is under the Rockstar Energy Drink Trans World Clash. So yeah, this is quite a short race. It's about 2.5, 3 minutes in length. And once we've done this, we're going to do the Academy Finals. I'll get into the Academy Finals a bit later. The other thing is, as well, is even on the hardest difficulty, if you beat the AI with ease, or you beat the AI pretty easily, or the game senses it, it'll keep telling you that. So you'll probably hear him quite enough. But as I was saying before, so one of the things that's interesting about this particular game is that if you play in Spanish, you don't have to understand Spanish, but if you play in Spanish, it is the faster language. It's really strange. I don't know how or why, but yeah, it's supposedly due to some of the lines that are said by the commentary guys. It's a lot, like I said, it is a lot faster to speed it up than it is if it was the English language. So yeah, interesting little thing. So we've got so this is the, like I said, the Land Rush race at Smelter, I think it is. So that's pretty good. It's quite neat, to be fair. All good fun. So yeah, straightforward, nothing much to it. I think as well, you may notice as well, there's little things that pop up at the bottom of the screen that have like a tick whenever I achieve it. And that is mainly... they are secondary objectives. You don't have to achieve them. They're not compulsory. If you get them, then well done. You get extra XP. But if you don't get them, then don't really worry about it. Obviously, in a any % run, which is complete in all of the seasons, you'll find that, you'll find that it's a lot easier to level up your character. the driver, should I say. Also, I found it funny. He slowed down for me. What a nice guy. What a helpful chap. Went a bit wide on that corner, so the idea, I mean, obviously the idea with the racing game, for those that probably know this already, but for those that aren't aware, one of the things about racing games is you obviously need to be fast anyway to beat them. So this actually works quite well in terms of speedrun wise anyway. Racing games work quite well. I mean, they work well for me because I quite enjoy them. So now that we've got enough points, and winning that event as well, we are now over to the Academy Finals, which is the main finale.
I've been keeping my...
So this is the Gymkhana Academy. This is the Academy Finals. So this will involve a lot of this. This is 10, nearly 11 minutes on its own. And a lot of what is about to be said, I can't skip. I wish I could, but I can't. So there you go.
Meet your new Gymkhana instructor, 3-time X Games medalist and YouTube sensation, racing superstar Ken Block.
Hey, what's up?
If you haven't seen this guy's
there we
videos,
go.
you're missing out on some really sick driving. Ken is the best Gymkhana driver on the planet.
So this will actually tell you as well what Gymkhana actually is.
Raise the profile of the sport.
Come on, Christian, you're making me blush.
Just telling you how it is, my amigo. Okay, so once you learn how to do Gymkhana, we'll start setting challenges for you. So be sure to pay attention to everything Ken says.
There you go.
All right, let's get you out there and up to speed. This is gonna be fun.
Nice. Welcome to Gymkhana School, Ken Block style.
So now, what's going to happen is we're going to do, I think it's 4 or 5 different tutorials, and then we get to the actual final. Each one will have a dialogue to explain some bits and pieces of each one. There you go.
Training them by smashing things. What's this all about, Ken?
Well, smash blocks is the simplest trick you're gonna learn about. Just drive into them and you'll get points for each one you smash. Simple as that.
Maximum destruction. All right, Ken's showing you how it's done. Just smash enough blocks to get a bronze medal and move on to the next tutorial. Go smash it.
Which, coincidentally, is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be achieving the bronze medal and immediately quitting out. There we go. So each one we're going to get a bronze medal and we're going to retire out of it. This is just to make the game as fast as possible. And again, we get a bit of medal stuff for our thoughts. So then once that one is done, there we go. So the next one is the jump tutorial. The jump tutorial, I think, is the one place that anyone that will run this will slip up. You need to get a certain amount of points when you jump the car. So yeah, here we go. So jump is literally just as simple as this. It is literally what it says on the tin. He'll probably repeat the same as what I've just said.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Jumps and getting tons of air. Any tips for our driver, Ken?
Well, they're really pretty easy. The trick is to find the right line into the jump. Get as much speed as you dare for some big air time. Be careful though, as you'll need to keep it under control on the landing.
So the further you fly, the higher the score. Look out for the triangles to tell you how well you did. 3 triangles means you aced the trick and got maximum points.
There we go. Not quite. Again, that's what I mean. You need to get 15,000 on the first one. Like that.
Nice driving, amigo.
So I got the bronze, but ideally you want to try and do that in 2 trips rather than 3, so that actually lost probably about 10 seconds doing it that way. Obviously you can, if you're going for 100%, you want to get the platinum medal. So you get you'll notice as well, you've seen there, you've got a bronze medal, there's a silver, a gold, and a platinum. And platinum is about as maximum as you can get. Some are easier to get than others, but a lot of them can be a bit difficult and require very precise movement. For example, in the Smash tutorial, you need to smash everything in 40 seconds. Drifting, you'll need to go mental.
That's how you get the crowd going.
Can be pretty difficult
Okay,
for some of them.
these are drift gates. There's a few different kinds, but they all work the same way. Just slide through them fast and with the car at an angle. The faster and the more sideways you drift through the gate, the more points you'll score.
Awesome. Go get your slide on, amigo.
There you go. Okay, so this one's nice and easy. It's a drift one. There we go.
Awesome, man.
Just like that. So that's the drift one done. So there's two left, which are the donut tutorial and the spin tutorial. Now, ironically, me saying that, in the spin tutorial, you're basically doing donuts. So this is the spin tutorial. The way that a spin tutorial works, or the way that it supposedly works, is you've got to do... You're basically got to spin the car around like in a donut. You'll see exactly what I mean in a minute. So here you go. Like this. It is doing donuts. Why that's not called the donut one, I don't know.
A real demonstration of precision driving. What's the trick of pulling these off, Ken?
Well, the spin zone's actually one of my favorite tricks. You need to drive into the marked area and get the car into a controlled spin. The more you spin, the more you'll score. The key is to approach slowly and at an angle. Then turn in and use the handbrake to get the back end out.
There you go.
Keep your foot on the gas and steer hard to keep it going.
The longer the spin, the higher you score. If you max out or start getting dizzy, just straighten up and drive off. The crowds love this stuff.
There we go. So now, as you can see,
Dude, that was
just like that. That's how you get. That's all that for that tutorial. You literally just do a full set of 360s and bam, done. Okay, so with that said and done, with that tutorial done, we now have the donut tutorial. So the donut tutorial is, imagine a pole sat upright and then you've got a spin round it. That is basically what this is. So again, fairly straightforward. The game tells you how to do it. It's not rocket science. It is fairly easy to do. So here you go.
Fancy a donut? In the world of gym, kind of that word means something entirely different, right, Ken?
Yeah, we've got big and small donuts here. They may look different, but they all work the same way. You just need to pull off a smooth, sideways drift around the central object. To get started, drive up like you're going past the trick, then get your car sideways by turning in hard and using the handbrake. Next, balance the throttle and the steering to keep your nose as close to the center as possible while you spin.
Remember, you can
There you go.
score points off the Mark Gymkhana donuts. They look pretty tricky, but I got faith. Better get to it.
So basically, the one at the far end is the one I go for. So you can get this one first. Like that.
Check it out.
And that's how you get. That's how you do that one. How you do the donut one. So now we've done the donut one, we've got all of the tutorials done. It now means that we have one more to go. And the last one is the big one. This is the Academy Finals.
Christian and Ken tell me you handle.
What a killer way to...
You'll need to finish it.
There we go.
Freestyle Gymkhana is...
So we're going to use that to skip everything. And we've got the car, we've got everything. So again, the way that this is going to work, you get a minute and a half to show off what you can do. But before you can do anything, the game basically says, hang on a minute. You know, you've got to listen to this cutscene for,
All right,
I don't know, about a minute or so.
Now comes the real challenge.
So there you go.
You gotta string them all together and compete in a freestyle Gymkhana event. These events are all about putting on a show for the fans. Keep the crowd hooked, and this will act as a multiplier on your trick scores, earning you anywhere up to triple points. Ken, what's the key to keeping the crowd on your side?
Well, there's three main things you'll want to remember. First, minimize your downtime by stringing tricks together as quickly as you can. Second, don't repeat the same tricks too much or the crowd will get bored. And finally, don't crash. Smashing up your car shows a lack of control. Once you're out there, everything I taught you will all fall into place. So don't worry, and good luck.
We'll be rooting
There
for
you go.
buddy. Give them a show they'll never forget.
And there you go. Also, time is going to be coming up as soon as time runs out on the clock. So if you're ready on time, it's going to be about a minute and a half from now. So here we go. So now time to show off what we can do. So first things first, we're going to do a couple of donuts. There's no specific way of actually like what you need to do. If anything, you can do these in any order you want. There we go. There we go. So if you get enough, like this. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go a bit crazy with donuts and everything else. Whoops. Try and make sure we get that last one. There we go. Okay, and time. And that's it. And that is your lot. That is the season 1, the full season.
Hey, you did a great job out there. I'm looking forward to competing.
Wonderful, thank you very much for that run, the Dirt 3 run. Excellent. Right, final time on that one was 35 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, bang on with accuracy, but yeah, that's pretty much the season. The thing is, like I said, season 1 is a very introductory season into the game. If you want more racing, I guess more tense moments, if I can call it that, season 2, 3, and 4 are definitely the ones to check out. Or alternatively, you can always try and go for the full any percent. So you see here, you'll see exactly what I mean now. So you've got season 2 there, the season 3 and season 4, and you also get this as well, which is the joyride. So this is the compound or the joyride mode, which you also unlock as well. There you go. Now, the way that one works, I'm not going to go in complete detail, but you basically have a parking lot, and you have like a power station. There's several parts. Eventually, the whole Battersea compound opens up. You get put into individual bits, and the area opens up. It's a fairly decent-sized area. There's missions that you can do by doing certain donuts under things and drifting through things, achieving certain speeds, flipping your car so many times, things like that. Finding tokens. There's a lot of things to check out. What else do I need to say? Oh yeah, one last thing. Now, one of the quotes that are stuck with me for this game is something that I will leave you with before I shoot off myself and give it back to Sim. But the way that one reviewer put this game was, there's that many triangles in this game that it makes you wonder if the Legend of Zelda timeline had self-destructed with the amount of triangles there is. And in my opinion, that kind of stuck. That's never left my mind. And it kind of, I hate to say it, they've got a point. The amount of triangles that are in this game, it was more like the 3 being a triangle, 3 sides. Maybe that was what they were going for with it. I don't know. But yeah, that was Dirt 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, feel free to give this game a try, whether you've got it on console or PC. Would highly recommend getting hold of the PC version if you can, with the DLC ideally. But obviously you can do it without DLC and with DLC. It varies. You can do it whichever way you want. But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching. You can actually find me over at Viper Races over on Twitch. If you want to check me out, I do racing games, speedruns, amongst other things as well. And yeah, once again, thanks to InstaSpeedathon for having me for this little mini event. So, Sim, I'll hand it back over to you.
Excellent. Well, no worries, all. Thank you very much for taking part. We are now going to go over to our penultimate run of the marathon. We've got 2 runs left in the whole marathon this weekend. Our next run will be Hardcore's Uprising by Anti-Aaron. Rising Mode Crystal is the category. That'll be a fairly short run, about 3/4 of an hour, and then after that we go on to our very final run of the marathon, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, or if you live in Britain, Ratchet and Clank 3, NG plus No Quit Exploit, and that will be about an hour long as well. Don't forget, of course, we do have some polls for the Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal run that is upcoming. You can either choose the language that the game is running, or you can choose the skin that Ratchet is given, essentially, during the run. And currently, on the donation page, if I just refresh the page real quick, the Spanish is winning the language choice on Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. German is trailing behind at 0, so there's £11 donated to Spanish and £0 to German. So if you'd like to change that, make sure to put those donations into the German language if you'd like to see that instead. And also you got choose a skin, so there's £6 on Ninja, there's £5 on Tuxedo, and all the rest have 0. So if you'd like to change which skin is displayed during the run, then be sure to donate to that as well. But yeah, also donations obviously go to EveryoneCan. The total you see on the screen is how much will be eventually donated to EveryoneCan at the end of the event. We do take a small cut from donations when you donate. It's just so that we can cover our own running costs, and it also helps us so that we can bring even better events again in the future as we have planned for InstaSpeedathon 2024 and going forward. So, without further ado, we're going to go on to our next run, our penultimate run of the marathon, Hardcore's Uprising, Rising Mode Crystal by Anti-Aaron. So thank you very much, Viper, for the DiRT run, and I think you've said your shoutouts and all that stuff already. So we're going to go straight now to the next run. So thank you, Viper, for the run, and we'll see you again soon.